giving a real lift to shares today.
Investors must be smiling, Brian. Shares in New York Stock Exchange Euronext soared more than 14% Wednesday after the stock exchange operator announced it was in discussions to merge with Frankfurt's Deutsche Börse. Trading in both companies was suspended briefly. If the deal goes through, it would create the world's largest exchange operator.
Details of the negotiations are being kept under wraps until it's a done deal. But as some information began filtering through, trading in the company's shares was briefly suspended. In the meantime, both the New York Stock Exchange and Deutsche Börse confirm they are in advanced discussions. The merger would create a massive capital market, the new number one. The market value of Deutsche Börse is higher than its New York counterpart because it's more profitable. It's worth 11.4 billion euros, while the NYSE is worth 6.7 billion. Under the proposed deal, NYSE boss Duncan Niederauer would be head of the consolidated company. And the German firm's shareholders would have a 60% stake in the new entity.
For the global financial market, I think that's just the consequences of other mergers. For example, the Singapore Stock Exchange with the ASX, and today we saw the offer from the London Stock Exchange for the Toronto Stock Exchange. So I think it's a very logical step.
Analysts estimate the merger would achieve savings of up to 300 million euros from synergies and be able to generate substantially more revenue.
Early on Wednesday, the Toronto and London exchanges announced they would merge. It's been billed as a merger of equals. Both are going to keep their existing brand names, but LSE investors will hold the upper hand with 55% of the new group. Both exchanges are heavily weighted with mining stocks. The union will create the world's biggest exchange for mining and energy stocks. Time to take a look at the markets now. In Frankfurt, the DAX index closed slightly lower at 73.20. The Euro Stoxx 50 finished Wednesday's session 1/3% lower. Across the Atlantic, the Dow closed slightly higher, and the euro is currently trading at $1.3727. And it's back to you, Brian.
Ariana, in Milan, Italian prosecutors there elsewhere about some top-level changes in store for the ECB.
Indeed, it's a big step, but the details are as yet unknown. Speculation is building as to who will take over as president of the European Central Bank after Frenchman Jean-Claude Trichet steps down later this year. Among the likely successors are German central bank boss Axel Weber. He's long been considered the front-runner. Now reports are coming in that Weber has said he's not available for the post and is considering moving to Deutsche Bank. Both the Bundesbank and Deutsche have so far declined to comment. Berlin's annual Fresh Produce Expo is underway, Fruit Logistica. It comes at an interesting time politically, with food security a major topic in Egypt and Tunisia. Both countries have representatives at the international trade show, and both countries have been dealing with, or are still going through, rough times. That's been affecting exports despite the high demand for exotic fruit in Germany.
Produce wholesalers throughout North Africa are doing a booming business, with most of their wares exported directly to Europe, where demand continues to climb. Tunisian fruits and vegetables are a sought-after commodity in France, Italy, and Germany. But the continuing unrest there is beginning to affect the private sector. It's a growing concern.
The dock workers are demanding higher pay. Most of them work on a day-by-day basis, but they want to see an immediate improvement in their financial situation and long-term contracts.